right. So here we have Captain Meriwether Lewis, born 1774, died in 1809. He was a U.S. Army captain and explorer who, along with William Clark, famously led the Lewis and Clark expedition through the Louisiana Purchase to the Pacific Ocean from 1804 to
Oh,
1806. He was a friend,
oh,
yeah, he was a friend of President Thomas Jefferson, and he served as Jefferson's private secretary. And then you see a picture of Mr. or Captain Lewis, rather, right there. So
mm,
can Captain Lewis join us, please?
yes.
Welcome, Captain Lewis. Thanks for joining us. I'm interested in the Louisiana Purchase, and I know you were one of the first people to go out there and observe.
Mm.
So, could you tell me if you went west across the Louisiana Purchase and you encountered already developed cities, or was it merely just pasture land and Indians living in transitory temporary homings or homes?
Did you have, when you came across and you went with, did you find there were already developed cities? No, were there developed cities? No, there was, like Native American encampments is what I'm getting. They had to kill some people. Did you know that?
I
Uh,
didn't know that, but I should have figured it out. Yeah.
They had to kill quite a few people on that journey. And it was kill or be killed situation.
That was not
Hmm.
emphasized in the books that I read on Captain Lewis, but I'm not surprised to hear it. I know that you're not surprised either. Things were rougher in previous days. Did Captain Lewis come across any evidence of giants?
Did you come across him? No.
Hmm. Um, would he care to discuss his passing at Grinder's Place, which I believe is in Tennessee? He was on his way to Washington, D.C., and he was spending the night at Grinder's Place, or something. The man's name was Grinder, and that's where he passed away. And there seems to be some confusion about how it happened.
Oh, I didn't know he passed away in Tennessee. Um,
I think that's correct.
did you pass away? Yes, he did. And what happened? He drank a lot. He uh it was an accident. He'd had too much to drink. And did you commit, what are you showing me? Did you No, no, he didn't mean to die. Did people think that he committed suicide?
In general, and there's some suspicion that maybe there was foul play involved, but in general, suicide is what they talk about. Yeah.
He was messing around. So how did he die then? Because I feel that he did it, but he didn't mean to do it. It was kind of just he was messing around. He'd had too much to drink. Um, he definitely was an alcoholic.
Here's what I heard.
He
He was
was in
having,
trouble.
yeah, he was having a problem. He was on his way back to Washington, D.C., but he owed a lot of people a lot of money. Plus, he had, he had malaria, I guess, and he was routinely ill. And so I guess by the time he got to Grinders, the whole world's coming down upon him. He's sick. You're right. He drank a lot. You know, Maybe it was like a coming together of factors that led to this. So, what did he accidentally shoot himself? There was no one else involved, was there?
Was there anyone else involved? No. He
So,
accidentally shot himself. He was playing around, he was messing around. Almost
by
like how you swing a gun around or
yeah.
he
So
was messing around.
he was drinking by himself and messing around with the gun.
I mean, that's pretty much a recipe for disaster. Um, Obviously it was meant to happen according to the life contract, but no, I mean it wasn't intentional.
Okay. So, um, I
Hmm.
guess the whole expedition was charged with keeping journals, and supposedly Captain Lewis was, really great at reminding everyone to keep journals. But I wonder, is there a missing journal? So I have a suspicion, and that's why I'm asking. I have a suspicion that maybe you were
Yes.
making notes that were secret that you weren't going to share with anyone except maybe the president or a higher level of clearance about the things that you actually found in the Louisiana Purchase. Did you have a secret notebook that we don't know about, Captain Lewis?
He definitely had a notebook,
What
but
became
that
of that notebook?
notebook was stolen from him.
Before or after his suicide?
Before or after? Right after.
Do we know who took the book?
Whoever found him took the book.
Do we know where the book ended up?
Do we know where the book ended up? It's still around today. It's in some family's hands.
Would we
Um,
discover some interesting information if we published that book? Would we learn new things about the Louisiana Purchase in your day that we did not know?
well, it detailed the killing in there.
Oh,
So obviously they didn't want that to get out.
very good. Okay. I'd like to, is there any,
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
it wasn't seen as favorable at that time, killing natives. That sort of era had passed almost, is what he's saying. It certainly, they were advising against it. You could get in trouble for that.
Sure. So they better
Uh,
get in trouble for that.
yeah, and you would have a lot of explaining to do. So he did document how many people they killed, but that book was taken. Who was his closest? Who was the one that found him? Do you know?
No, the books are on the other side of the room. I'll have to look it up after the show. But go ahead.
Okay,
Tell us more. I mean, is there something else you want to say about that person who found him? Was it a male or a female?
male, and always betrayed him.
What is that guy's name? I wrote down this guy's name on another piece of paper, but then
Hmm.
I was reading the anyway. I won't get into it. So I got a couple other questions, Captain Lewis. When you were doing the expedition through the Louisiana Purchase, and you had Sacagawea there and her hunter, the husband, the Frenchman, whose name I don't recall right now.
Mhm.
Is it true that regarding the sleeping arrangements, both you and Captain Clark and Sacagawea and her husband, you were all in the same tent? Is that correct?
Is that correct? No, no. Only occasionally, but no. Did you sleep with Sacagawea? He did.
Did he?
Cheeky boy.
Well, was Sacagawea consenting?
No, that was a good question.
So I'm also going to guess, because I hear so many weird things. I'm guessing when he was having his way with Sacagawea, I'm supposing that her husband was nearby or giving permission.
No, her
Oh,
husband had gone to get something or to hunt something. Um, he feigned an illness, saying he was, and again, he was always drunk. I mean, he was always drunk or always hungover. And he basically, but he did that on purpose. She stayed behind and he raped her several
did,
times.
was there a child that came from that?
Was there a child that came from that? Ooh, possibly. Yeah, he's telling me yes.
Okay, thanks for sharing that very private information. I'd like to ask him about the White Cliffs of Missouri. Does he recall the White Cliffs of Missouri?
Yes,
So now that he's on the other side, what can he tell us about the White Cliffs of Missouri?
they're haunted.
Which
It's
souls are haunting
like,
him?
yeah, it's like a place of evil spirits, he says. It's very It's not a nice place. It scared him. It made him feel very uncomfortable. Some bad things happened there.
Was he there when those bad things happened?
Were you there? Yes.
I have another
Yes.
question about, I have another question about the White Cliffs, and that is it possible that those White Cliffs are actually melted buildings, melted stone or brick buildings that were transformed by heat and now they look like that?
Ooh, was it possible that those white cliffs were melted buildings? No.
Okay. I got a couple of more buildings I'd like to ask him about, a couple of edifices here. So
Mm-hmm.
I know we're all familiar with the St. Louis Arch. I'm
Yeah.
supposing that the St. Louis Arch was not around when Captain Lewis was in St. Louis. Is that true? There was no St. Louis Arch, was there, sir?
No. No, there wasn't.
Okay. I'd like to ask him about 11 North 4th Street in St. Louis. 11 North 4th Street. Does he recall that address when he lived in St. Louis?
Yes.
What's at 11 North 4th Street, sir, please?
What is what is that? 11th
11
North
North 4th
4th
Street.
Street. What is that? What, like now
Oh, I'm
or
asking
then?
in
In
his
his
day,
day.
what was at that
Okay.
address?
What was it that? A mistress. He quite liked the ladies.
All right. So, did the mistress live in a wooden building or a stone building at 11 North 4th Street?
Did she live in a wooden? No, it was stone. It was
So,
mostly stone, especially on the inside.
how tall was the building? Was it taller than 40 feet?
Was it taller than 40 feet? No, no, it wasn't taller than 40 feet.
Were there Roman style columns outside or anywhere on the building?
Were there Roman style column on or outside? Yes.
Okay. I have another question, and that is 1114 Market Street in St. Louis. In his day, does he remember 1114 Market Street in St. Louis?
Yes.
Can he tell me what's at that address in his day, please?
What uh in that address back in your day? What exactly was it? It was a place to gamble.
All right, one more question. Is this place, is it a wooden structure or is it made of stone?
Was it wooden? I feel it was wooden at the time. Yes,
Were there any stone or what we call heavy mason structures in the vicinity of 1114 Market Street?
yes.
Is there an address or some description you'd like to share about those heavy stone masonry buildings? Those are the ones we're interested in, sir.
So it was located behind. Okay. It
Uh-huh.
was located behind that address. It was like there was definitely remnants of something that was there. And
It was
it just,
gargantuan, wasn't it? It was very
yes,
big.
but it
Okay.
resembled like a wall. The
So,
rest of it had fallen down.
all right. Uh, you remember our two YouTube guests.
Yes,
I just want to know if they're nodding their heads or if they're excited or anything. Maybe we feel like we learned something today.
definitely.
All right. So,
Definitely.
okay.
So what is your theory on that St. Louis stuff? Because there's definitely some big, I can see it. He's showing it to me like some big wall. It's huge.
So first of all, at 11 North 4th Street, it was the old courthouse. They call it the old courthouse now, and it's
Mm,
it looks like another state capitol building. And by the same token, there's one called the Carnahan Courthouse on Market Street, And I guess that's the gigantic building that you're describing for me. It's still in use today, I believe, the Carnahan Courthouse in St. Louis. And what this proves is that, there's been some kind of cover up in history, because even though, I mean, because we could ask him about what he found in Washington. I think he went there, but just about all these metropolises, certainly across the United States, they
Mm.
all have these heavy stone masonry buildings. And the thing is, in the late 1800s, as our YouTube guests keep on pointing out, in the late 1800s, everyone pretends like these buildings just got erected in a couple of years. There's never any pictures of how it happened. And we still have no idea of how they built them. How did you, build them with no mistakes, perfect architecture, perfect civic engineering and planning? Like if you look at the state capital of Madison, Wisconsin, it's all lined up perfectly, outwards of a mile with all these other heavy stone masonry buildings. These are some of those, and these are some of those angelic structures that you discovered with one of your other wonderful hosts, Psychic Liz Cross. So what we're saying is there really were, this is my opinion,
Mm.
there really were heavy stone masonry buildings. Just like if we talked about Manhattan Island, there's no way Manhattan Island got built the way we're supposed to believe it got built. I believe that Manhattan Island was all built out perhaps centuries ago. And then, we had to, if we kept on teaching people that, yeah, we took it over from this previous civilization, there'd be a lot of questions going around and a lot of people have to answer those questions. But if we just say, yeah, we built them, don't ask any questions, get back to work. You don't need to worry about this. It's all part of a program. It's part of propaganda to keep us all paying attention to one thing instead of paying attention to how broad and strong and wise and knowledgeable we are. So that's where I'm coming
Mm.
from. I want to thank Captain Lewis for coming by. I want to thank our YouTube guests for coming by. And I want to thank you, Psychic Liz Cross, for helping me interview these people. So
Oh,
I'm,
of
I'm all done.
course.
And
That
let's,
was fun.
yeah, all right, cool.